Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So a look here at the key and active. We got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again is Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down at Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Second and 10, Stafford again. And he completes it to Wilson. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Paul, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Smith. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. hits Beasley right side. And he gets it down to the 32. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. Because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worrying about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on their own.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he'd never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Smith. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Prescott on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They go back to the ground now with Smith. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Forced out to his left. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And this one is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with
like
sports.
That. They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blow. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. A look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They pitch to Washington. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Second down, Prescott. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A first down carry for Smith, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Prescott. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Smith. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Great job defensively. He was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Stafford on 1st down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Blunt. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Lions had the fewest 3rd down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now here come the Cowboys. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They go with Washington to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Prescott now on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it to DeAndre Washington, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
There you go.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
There we go.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Space to maneuver at the 40. Going left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing. Prescott. And he finds Beasley complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Prescott from the gun. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A handoff to Smith, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie. The coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran.
Here we go. Wide eight.
On second down, Washington. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Prescott, and that's caught by Beasley. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now LeGarrette Blount gets set to go again on offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On first, here's Washington. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here we go, 46, 46. 26.
To throw is Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. First down, Prescott. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Here we go now with Smith. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hey, kill.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. He'll buy some time right. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. Uses the stiff arm. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
There we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
There we go. Sliding.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Ziggy Ansah getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, but it brings up 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, kill.
They give it to him running left. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. DeAndre Washington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
A try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Try to shake off interception. He'll look to throw.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And that's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Stafford finds Roberts left side. Now the ball comes loose, and the Cowboys have recovered. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it here with Blunt. No gain on the play. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward.
Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Smith. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott now. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Now Austin. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes we give this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
After the penalty, it's Smith. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Again, it's Smith. There's the stiff arm. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play here for Dallas. 57 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Prescott looks to throw on first. This will be caught just inside the 10. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And his kick is good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Set. 180.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference, defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Stafford on 1st down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Set. Blue 60.
Stafford on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On the toss play, this is Washington. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Right back to Washington. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Tie it right. Tie it right. Here we go.
On the give, this is Washington. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, Michael Roberts there. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
To the right and complete to Galladay. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Notice says,
what?
Let's discuss how we get here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Staying on the ground with Washington. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. A handoff for Washington. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it here with Smith. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? we need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Set. Lady.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Roberts with it over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. 22 ticks to go.
Here we go. Here we go. Set. Yellow 20.
Now a first down throw. Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Roberts. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air again, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Roberts. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
Set. Lady.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Set. Lady.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.